In the long run, the students that have had all K through 12 Common Core instruction will be more adept and more ready for a 21st century college or career environment. Sometimes in the high schools, you do kind of feel like you guys aren't ready yet, and so it's your job to make sure that they are. And so I think, and it's not just with the testing, it's not just with PARCC and Common Core standards, but just in general, you want to make sure students are independent thinkers and that they can be analytic and that they can explore and persevere and problem solve and have skills that go way beyond standards that you'll see in Common Core or items you'll see on PARCC. But I do think the coherency and the rigor allows for, in its design, a very smooth college and career preparatory track using Common Core standards. And I think PARCC does a good job of assessing it.
When we started developing PARCC, there were some things we were committed to. And one of the major commitments was that this was going to be an assessment that truly got at the intent of the standards and the shifts involved in these standards. And because of that, we talked about what are the claims that we want to make about students who have a level of mastery of the standards. So if, for example, a student is able to use evidence from a text, what does that look like? And from there, then we said, all right, well, if we want to make these claims about kids in a classroom, for example, what kind of evidence would we select? What kind of evidence would we be looking for? And only then, when we could clearly say, here are the standards, here are the claims, and this is the evidence we want to be able to collect, that's when the tasks were started being created. So it wasn't like we just started creating these questions out of the blue. We knew exactly what evidence we had to get from kids in order to make an informed claim about where they were on track for mastering these standards. And so being able to see that clear alignment to the standards helps us confidently say that when they sit down and take this assessment, it's giving us a picture of where they are in terms of our instructional outcomes. And it is a very important component of a system. We have our standards. From there, we know what we were looking for with kids, and the assessment helps us get that evidence from the kids. And then once we get that evidence and we look at the results of an assessment, like any great teacher does, you're going to say, well, this is what the kids know, this is what they don't know, and now I can plan my next lesson. It's not the next lesson in the book. It's, what do my kids know, where are they, and what do I need to do next as a result of that? And because of that, I feel like this assessment tool is so valuable for our classroom teachers because it gives them a very high quality assessment to kind of take a measurement of where their kids are on track for standard mastery, which is what we would want, anytime we're delivering a lesson. We want to make sure we're measuring to see how they're doing toward our outcome.
The PARCC assessment was designed to kind of mirror really good instruction, so it has scaffolding built in, which is really awesome. So you have particular items, they'll start at a lower level and then it'll get more complex. The standards are very helpful in that we don't learn in bubbles. We don't learn when we're on the job. We don't say, now we're doing reading, and now we're doing math, and now we're talking about social studies. Everything is integrated, so the standards are very integrated, and that is a very helpful thing. And it also helps with citing evidence, so you get to have a really critical eye, which is what you need in today's workforce.